Come here. Come here.
I'm so sorry!
It started with a desperate scream that shattered the quiet of the neighborhood, a sound no parent should ever hear. What came next was a chilling revelation that no one could have anticipated. A 12-year-old girl, trembling and drenched in remorse, confessed to something unthinkable. She had stabbed her 9-year-old brother while he slept. Her tear-filled voice, laced with panic and disbelief, echoed in the night. "I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. It's some demonic stuff."
I'm sorry, I don't know what to I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, please. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry.
These were the words that greeted the responding officers, setting the tone for a heart-wrenching and deeply unsettling story that has left an entire community grappling with questions. Before we dive into what led to that devastating moment, let me ask you something. How well do we really know the people closest to us? Are we prepared to confront the unimaginable when it's staring us in the face? Stick with me as we unravel the details of this tragic event, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. This story is one that demands attention and reflection. Now let's rewind to the quiet Oklahoma night when it all began. It was a typical evening in Tulsa's St. Thomas Square neighborhood. Families were settling in, the hum of daily life winding down. Inside one home, however, a storm was brewing that no one saw coming. The girl, whose name remains undisclosed due to her age, had recently been put back on medication she'd stopped taking over a year ago. According to her mother, April Lyda, the medication marked a noticeable shift in the girl's behavior, though nothing had ever suggested she was capable of violence. She never had issues before, Lyda later told police, but that night, something snapped.
Yes, they're here.
Where's your daughter? Where's the knife at?
Shortly before midnight, the young girl crept into her brother Xander's room while he was sleeping. She carried a knife. In what can only be described as a frenzied and inexplicable attack, she stabbed him multiple times in the chest. Xander woke up to the pain, his cries piercing the night and alerting their mother. Lyda rushed to the scene only to find her son gravely injured and her daughter in a state of hysterics. "I'm so sorry," the girl cried repeatedly as her mother screamed in disbelief. "There's stab wounds in his chest. You could kill him." Her voice cracked with desperation as she demanded answers her daughter couldn't give.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, please. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry.
As paramedics worked frantically to save Xander's life, the girl ran upstairs to her room and threw the knife out of her bedroom window. It was as if she were trying to erase what had just happened, to make the weapon disappear, as though it could undo the nightmare unfolding before her. Police arrived moments later to find the girl waiting for them, her sobs uncontrollable. She ran out to meet the officers, repeating her apologies over and over. "I didn't mean for this to happen. I don't know what happened," she said, her words a mix of confusion and guilt. She even offered to show them where the knife had landed, cooperating fully as her brother was rushed to the hospital in critical condition.
Where's the knife?
I was upstairs in my room and I threw it out the window and it's down into the apartment right here.
You threw it where?
I threw it out my window upstairs.
Right up here?
Not right there. It's the room. It's the other room. It's right behind the apartment. This apartment right here.
So where would the knife be? On that side?
Behind.
Inside the ambulance, Xander fought for his life, but the damage was too severe. Despite emergency surgery, he succumbed to his injuries at 2:30 a.m. The news hit like a sledgehammer. A 9-year-old boy was gone, and his sister, a mere child herself, was left to grapple with what she had done. As the officers placed her in handcuffs, the girl begged, "Are these really necessary? I'm a good child." But the weight of her actions hung heavy in the air, an invisible force pressing down on everyone involved. In the police cruiser, her anguish spilled over. "I ruined my life. I ruined my whole future. It's all my fault," she said through sobs, her voice trembling with fear and regret. The girl prayed aloud, pleading with God to help her and to make this nightmare go away. But there was no waking up from this. This was real, and the consequences would follow her for the rest of her life. The details that emerged in the following days painted a complex and heartbreaking picture. According to her mother, the girl had been entranced by demonic stuff in the days leading up to the incident. Whether this was a cry for help, an expression of internal turmoil, or something else entirely remains unclear. What is certain is that this tragedy was not an isolated event, but the culmination of something deeper. As investigators dug into the case, questions arose about the role of the medication the girl had been taking. Could it have triggered a change in her behavior? Was it a factor in her mental state that night? The type of medication has not been disclosed, leaving a crucial piece of the puzzle missing. The family's grief is immeasurable. Xander's death has left a void that cannot be filled, and the girl's actions have torn the family apart in ways that words cannot capture. In a moment of heart-wrenching honesty, Leedy told police, "My son will never forgive her. There will always be issues now between them." The weight of those words is almost unbearable. Yet, amid the chaos and devastation, one haunting question lingers. Why? Why did this happen? What drove a 12-year-old girl to commit such a horrific act against her own brother? The police footage offers no clear motive, only a glimpse into the raw, unfiltered aftermath of the tragedy. The legal proceedings surrounding the case remain shrouded in secrecy due to the girl's age. The Tulsa District Attorney's Office has not disclosed what charges she faces, and it's unlikely the public will ever know the full extent of her sentence. But one thing is certain: this young girl's life, like her brother's, has been irrevocably altered. As we reflect on this story, it's impossible not to feel the weight of its implications. How do we protect our children from themselves when we don't see the warning signs? How do we address mental health issues in a way that prevents tragedies like this from happening? And how do we support families who are left to pick up the pieces after such unimaginable loss? If this story has struck a chord with you, take a moment to consider the importance of mental health awareness and early intervention. It's a conversation we need to have, not just for ourselves, but for the future of our children. And if you've made it this far, thank you for staying with us. Don't forget to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more stories that demand attention and reflection. Well, the story isn't just about one family's tragedy, it's a wake-up call, a reminder that behind every headline is a complex web of emotions, circumstances, and unanswered questions. Let's not turn away. Let's use this as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to do better.